Okay, welcome back to Elder Scrolls Online Summerset. Let's go talk to Rano. Yeah, we finally figured out how to turn off the helmet.
Barah, Caravel. How can a humble merchant help so exalted a personage on this fine day?
Let's see, I was wondering how your name ended up in the Divine Persecution's observation log.
The Divine? Did a justiciar send you to harass me? I've lived in Summerset my whole life, and I did nothing wrong. You High Elves, you say we're welcome, and then you treat us like criminals. Is there any wonder I had to speak out?
What did you say exactly, if you don't mind me asking?
After I filled out all the proper forms and arranged to bring my cousin here, the ship arrived and they carted all the newcomers away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady, but what has it profited me? Nothing!
You're not a High Elf. Have you lived in Summerset very long?
Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help.
So do you like living in Summerset?
Summerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred the waters, though. I fear it will get worse before it gets better.
Okay.
Saved our high and mighty queen.
This is unheard of! Why have you closed the monastery?
Good people, I hear your concerns.
But the workers I hired, they were
Such
aboard
anger!
the
Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for Raz to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to?
The artist's assistant and the Red Guard cousin have both been sequestered.
Sequestered? Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but Olnewell's assistant has lived on Summerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Zoxolza have to say?
Zoxolza was dead by the time I reached him. I found this letter in his backpack.
Why would the Aldarch gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the kin lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and not in a good way. Our course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery.
Okay, I'll help you investigate the monastery.
Raz admires your enthusiasm, but this one needs you to enter the monastery on your own. Raz has other fish to catch. This one will help you get past the sentry, though. When you notice that the sentry is distracted, just sleep quietly inside.
Alright, that sounds like a plan. No, that's not where we're supposed to be going. Another side quest there. We'll have plenty of time to take these on.
I have a... Damn it, why won't this work?
Did you see a golden knight?
I have no idea what that was, and I'm not sure I want to know.
Sentry! Raz owes you for that game of cards and has come to pay.
Well, I don't recall any... You say I won some gold?
So we need to investigate the monastery. See the list of sequestered guests. Wood Elves, 4 males, 3 females, all claim to be Dominion citizens. One says she lives in Summerset for more than a year, moved to preparation cells. Khajiit, 7 males, 9 females, all claim to be Dominion citizens. Send half to the preparation cells, the other half to holding cells. Agordians, 4, gender inconclusive, who can tell with muck swimmers. Moved to preparation cells for immediate siphoning. Bretons, 1 male, 2 females, claim to be traders from Wayrest. Or did they say Daggerfall? Does it even matter? Why am I writing all this down? What does the new Aldarch plan to do with this information? Placed in holding cells. Red Guards, 2 males, 4 females, all arrived in a ship from Hammerfell. One says she was sent for by Renewal the trader. Send half to holding and the other half to preparation. Nords, 1 male, claims to be part of something called the Nord Cultural Exchange. Send to holding. Let's see Kin Lady's letter. My dear Aldarch Tilkalar, I'm so glad you suggested transferring to our beloved monastery. I was hoping to use my influence to make that happen, especially after that insightful discussion we had concerning Queen Irene's radical and frankly dangerous decree. I look forward to working with you to make sure Shimmerene, and indeed all of Summerset, remains safe and secure. Your plan to sequester newcomers in order to test their suitability for residency in Shimmerene is a stroke of genius. Determining who has the ability and temperament to become productive members of our society, and who does not, will allow us to spot troublemakers and lackadaisical transients before any damage is done. It isn't a perfect solution, but it will suffice until we can urge the unforeseen queen to rescind this order and send all the Nabara, the unwelcome, back to where they came from. Send me a list of candidates you deem acceptable for life in Summerset. I'm sure Proxy Queen Aednavorith will appreciate having documentation concerning who we permitted to stay and who we sent away. I keep saying that Summerset is sacrosanct. Let Auridon deal with the other races. After all, our beloved queen spends all her time there anyway, carousing with cats and wood elves. I'm sure she'd love more company. Kind Kin Lady Avenisa. Okay, these guys are really hostile to outsiders.
No, not now, please. Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap.
Where can I find the people that have been sequestered?
You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldarch brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. That was a hint, by the way.
You must have some idea where they're sequestering the newcomers.
Again with the questions about the newcomers. Why does a newly arrived High Elf care about the complexities of Summerset bureaucracy? Still, if I had to guess, I'd say they were taken into the Undercroft for registration and processing. Now go away.
One more thing, tell me about Aldarch and the new monks.
Aldarch Tilkala arrived right after the Queen issued her decree. He came highly recommended by Kin Lady Avanice, or so I heard. It's not unusual for monks to form attachments and move together, but there's something strange about that bunch.
Strange? What do you mean?
The Aldarch and his monks keep to themselves. They've taken the Undercroft for their own purposes and ordered the rest of us to avoid the ancient vaults beneath the monastery. Now, please,
Let me get back to my nap.
Wow, that was, he... Just talking to this guy made me want to yawn. Wait, we're not done.
Oh, not. You'll have to ask one of the monks at the new Aldarch. The Aldarch and his monks. The monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldarch has closed us down until further notice. That means if any of the monks spot you, they'll raise the alarm. Me? I never saw you. Now, if you don't mind, my nap awaits.
Okay. It's quite strange what's going on here. What's there to investigate here? It's probably upstairs.
What's the matter with you? Get out of here.
What am I missing here? Oh, it says above.
Unusual knick-knack for an Aldarch's office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind.
And what purpose would that be?
The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either.
Yeah, I saw a pearl like that. There were strange creatures nearby.
Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios. Strange creatures notwithstanding, we need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers.
So how did you get past the sentry, by the way?
The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more going on in Shimmerene than the usual politics and community relations.
So what else could be going on here?
That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldarch and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join me?
Yeah, sure.
A curious pearl. I wonder where the Aldarch acquired it. Probably not important.
Further notes
I'll meet
on
you
the
in
Sloat by
Undercroft,
Tallinger
and
the
we can
Artificer.
see what's going on with the newcomers.
On the Sloat and the Malmer, the Sloat are hostile to all other mortal races, and though there is some evidence of diplomatic traffic between the Sloat and the Malmer, there are also plenty of accounts of conflict between the Slugmen and the Sea Elves. There is no surprise since both Sea Elves and Sloat are at war with the rest of the world. The Malmer's grievances seem to be that they got stuck with Piadonia, a sad and swampy archipelago of Maladros islets. Why the Sloat is so belligerent to all others is unknown. On the Coral Tower. Since the Coral Tower fell during the invasion of Thrust by the All Flags Navy, at this point the best we can do is make educated guesses about it. In their own perverse way, the Sloat are very capable sorcerers, and from all accounts the Coral Tower acted as both a focus and a projector of mystical power. I'm not a scholar of tower lore, My interests tend more toward the practical, but this accords somewhat with what the mytho-historians claim is the purpose and practice of the so-called Towers of Nirn. Was the Coral Tower a real tower like Lawful Crystal here on Summerset, or was it a failed imitation like the Doomspire? I do not think we have the answers based on what little we know on Slowed Soap, but enough speculation onto a subject about which for once we can be certain: Slowed Soap. There are many misconceptions about the origin of Slowed Soap, and I'm happy to have an opportunity to clear it up. First, let us consider the metamorphic biology of the Slowed. They begin life on the Thressen Atoll, as in the words of Admiral Bendiolo, disgusting little amorphous grubs. Ignored by their pendulous parents, these grubs somehow scrum their way to the sea, where they mutate into aquatic quasi-cephalopods known as polygyles. Due to their corpulence, adult Slowed spend a great deal of time in the shallow lagoons of their atolls, wallowing among the polygles. Those larvae that prove too slow to avoid their parents' pseudopods are caught and harvested, culling out the weak and providing the raw material for Slowed soap. Captured polygles are tossed into an ever-bubbling cauldron, where they gradually deliquesce into a slimy broth. This broth undergoes an alchemical commixture with materials known only to the Slowed, after which it is poured into molds and allowed to cool. Once solid, the bars are scooped out and wrapped in the viscera hagfish for preservation. It is believed that the Slowed use this soap as their primary component in their necromantic rituals. I'm no expert at necromancy, but apparently having an emulsified reagent concocted from one one's descendants acts as a profound intensifier in the magic of undeath. Slowed soap is rarely seen away from Thras, and when it is, it commands high prices from alchemists, who relish its unique properties for creating potions of agility and, rarest of all, the mutation of personality. Eleonora the Red, our Sepiarch of Alchemy, says that Slowed soap has never been thoroughly analyzed outside of Thras and may contain many more undiscovered alchemical properties. Plus, it's an exceptional cleanser, deep cleaning yet mild, that leaves your skin feeling youthful and refreshed. Good to know. Guess we cannot go there.
Why are you here?
Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic.
Okay, something is going on.
These people did nothing to deserve such treatment. There's someone alive over there. See if you can help her.
Thank the divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please, let me out of here.
So why did they lock you in a cage?
It's a nightmare. We came to Summerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us or the usual High Elf bureaucracy, they locked us in these cages.
Okay, there are only a few of you here. Where are the rest of the newcomers?
The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please, let me out of here before they take me away like the others.
Alright, I'll unlock the cage and see what's going on in the next chamber.
Is that a...
Oh, thank you for setting me free.
A Daedra? Here? And that's a Scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious.
So what's the dead Scoffin doing in a monastery devoted to the Eight?
An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the Scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door.
That's where the prisoner said the monks took the rest of the newcomers.
Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. Without answers to those questions, we won't be able to decide on our best course of action.
So what about your missing friend?
I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
for newcomers? Unfortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear. Your turn will
Daedric cultists?
Alright. Where did he go? Where did he go?
I'll deal with the pearl. You hold off these creatures. The pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell.
I can't see you. Where are you? Okay.
Come on, let's talk outside.
Alright, let's take a break. We're about 21 minutes in. We'll be right back with more Elder Scrolls Online in Summerset.